Today I'm pretty excited to share with you a new product from True Leaf Market that I just got done running a trial on, and I'm pretty happy with it overall. These are what they call a Detroit mix of beets, and this is a pretty nice tray. It came out really well. Not sure how well you can see that. So there's a nice mix of like pink and yellow and red in here. And the best way to show these to you will really be for me to do some harvesting and package them up and show you just what it takes to do that, and you'll get a better view of the product as I do that as well. I do want to apologize for the camera angle. It's a little funny, not the best, but I'm in my grow room indoors and there's only so many ways to set up in here to record, so just gonna make do with what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and start harvesting these, and I'll talk to you a little bit about how I grew them and such as we do that. So, like I said, it's Detroit mix. I cleaned my hands, even though I am gonna get a little bit dirty doing this. This is it's tedious. Beets are not fun to do, to harvest, and I keep using scissors, keep a paper towel so I can always wipe my scissors off as I go. Let's get started. So I've got my 16-ounce clamshell. Yes, they are plastic. Not everyone's thrilled about plastic. I've never had a customer complain. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to start cutting right into this. So the way that I grew these is I used 60 grams of seed and planted them dry on top of soil that was pretty wet, and then covered with about 1/16 of an inch or so of really fine, light, fluffy soil. You want that soil to be able to break up really easy. You don't want it just becoming a complete shelf. I've tried planting deep, and other people have had great results with that. It has not worked for me. It doesn't work out. I've tried. You guys welcome to try that. So you can see that's a really nice mix. I'm gonna call that rainbow mix, rainbow beets. Now as I'm going along cutting this, I'm getting just about a handful, a small handful, and I'm holding it towards the top and just cutting across the bottom. And what I'm doing is I take and I hold it in my hand like this, and I just kind of shake off with my finger, kind of knock out anything that's really small, or any seed holes, or even soil that could be stuck to them. And then I remove any seed holes that are easy to take off. If that particular shoot isn't really anything special, then I just toss it. Like, that's nothing you're gonna want to use anyways. So after I've planted my 60 grams of seed on top of that soil and covered it with a nice fine soil, I don't stack beets. I found that for me, they grow better if I don't do that. And I put another tray over the top of them so they're blacked out, and I leave them that way for right around 5 days or so until almost all the seeds have germinated, and they'll start picking up soil and poking through here and there. And then when I feel like they've all kind of reached their best potential for being covered up, I will take a sprayer, a spray bottle, and use it on squirt mode and just break up any clumps of soil that I can. And that really helps to prevent any dampen off problems from having anything get crushed down. Once I feel like they've reached full potential of being covered up, about 5 days, like I said, I'll put them straight under lights. They'll remain under lights for approximately another 2 weeks. Beets are definitely one of those crops that the longer you can grow them for, the better. They just get better with age. You're going to get more yield out of it, and they're going to look really nice too. If you can get the first true leaf to really start showing, it'll be like 2 true leaves that really start popping up. If you can get those to really start showing really nice, then that's great. Like I said, it's only helping your yield and the overall look of the product. However, the longer you grow them for, the more risk you will have of issues like dampen off problems, things like that popping up. So it really is a fine balance on letting them grow for a long time versus cutting your losses sort of and just like taking the crop, because if it gets to a point where it looks really good, you might want to just go ahead and harvest it. Or you can always try pushing it a little bit and see how much longer you can grow them for. That's really for you to decide on how far you want to go with it. I think this particular crop, I could have grown this another week or so and it probably would have been just fine. I'm not really seeing any major issues in this particular crop. You may be wondering why I would be excited about a rainbow colored beet when they already offer a rainbow shard. And the reason for that is quite simple, really, is that I didn't have very good luck with the rainbow shard. I tried growing it a couple different ways. All shards really, I just don't have the best luck with. I don't have the best luck with beets either, but I do a lot better with beets than I do with shard. And so I thought these would be good to, give a shot and see if they grow better. And in this case, they absolutely did. They're performing far better than the rainbow shard ever did for me. People that are buying these, they wouldn't really necessarily care if it was a shard or beets. They really want that color, that look, and they taste very similar anyways. So if one type is working better for you than the other, so if shard grows better, grow that. If beets grow better, grow the beets. In my case, I do a lot better with beets than I do with shard. Now you can see as I'm going just how tedious this process is. I literally cut a handful, set it in the palm of my hand, separate out any hulls or any crop that I don't really like, and then put it in the container and move on. There's definitely better ways. At a small scale, I haven't really found a better way to do this. And for that reason, I don't really offer beets beets or shard as like a regular product. It's kind of one of those, if it's ready, that's great, I'll offer it to you. And my chefs are always very excited when that's the case. But it's not something that I offer up as a regular, like I'm gonna guarantee this. I have a lot of crops that I do not guarantee on a regular basis. And so far, all my customers have been totally fine with that. It is much, much better to be able to tell somebody you can't promise something and then show up with it than it is to tell them you're sure you can grow them whatever they want and have it ready and then not come through. They'll respect you a lot more for being honest up front and telling them you'll do your best, but you're not going to promise it. And just like any other crop, the more of it you grow, the better you'll get at it, the more little tweaks you'll figure out that you can do, and then maybe you'll be comfortable offering this as a regular variety and your customers will love that. However, as difficult as they are a really rewarding crop to grow. They're beautiful. Another good thing to know if you're going to be growing beets and offering them to your customers is don't give them away. As you can tell as I'm going along, and I've said a million times already in this video, this is a really tedious process. It takes a long time to harvest them to get a nice, crop without any seed holes in it. They took a long time to grow, about 3 weeks from seed, which means they're taking up space on your rack that could be growing more profitable crops. And so with that being said, my price, everybody always wants to know what you charge. All these microgreen growers on YouTube and everybody don't really usually share that too well. And also, my price shouldn't be your price. There's a lot more that goes into it than just, hey, Corey sells it for this price, that's what I'm going to sell it for. You need to figure out your own price. But in the case of chard, or beets, rainbow beets, or any beets, I won't sell them for any less than $5 an ounce. Even at $5 an ounce, you're not really super profitable unless you've got like a great system. In my case, it's not a great system, but it works. And it's too time consuming to just be giving this away. And so I'm doing 2-ounce containers, and that will be for $10. And I'll only get 2 to 3 of those containers per tray. And so what that means is that the most I'm going to be able to bring in from a tray of beets is about $30. That's if I got 3 packages off one tray. Now, I generally want to make a minimum of $25 per tray. That's what I've set my price target at. However, I won't sell any customer just beets. I won't do it. It's not worth it for me. So if I'm only making $20 to $30 per tray on the beets, I'm really hoping that I'm going to make a lot more than that on my other crops that produce a whole lot more than that, like radish and peas and those types of crops, where you can get a whole lot of containers off one tray. Like peas, you're going to get at least a pound. So that's 8 packages. If you sold that for $6 a package, that's $48 per tray. Now, it's not all profit, but you can see the difference. $20 to $30 per tray on the beets versus upwards of over $48 a tray on peas, or even pretty close to that, about $40 a tray on radish. And so what I typically will do is I'm hoping, and I'm really forcing, a customer that wants beets has to buy some of the other stuff as well. You can't buy just the beets. Now they do weigh up pretty quickly. This package right here weighs 2.45 ounces. I could take some out and put it in another package and try to keep it right to 2 ounces exactly, but I don't do that. I'm just going to leave it at this. Not sure if you can see that on the scale. 2.4 ounces. And that's just what the customer is going to get, is that package. Still got to label it. If you have any questions or comments about this video or any other video I have, definitely always comment. I enjoy reading everyone's comments. I try to reply to every single one. Can't promise I always get to everyone. Sometimes I don't see the notification that somebody commented. But definitely comment. Tell me if you liked the video. Tell me you hated the video. Tell me I'm doing it wrong, doing it right. Take the time to spam my channel to promote your own channel. Doesn't bother me. Just go ahead. Just make sure you're always smashing the like button though. These take a really long time to harvest. So that just means I have all kinds of time to promote everything else I have going on while I harvest these. There will be a link, an affiliate link to these seeds directly in my description if you want to check that out. I earn a small commission, no extra charge to you. You wouldn't even know you used my link if I didn't tell you. Also, make sure you check out my BrabantFarms.com website, which started off as my business page and has really kind of transformed into more of an educational page where I have all kinds of write-ups on different topics related to microgreens, what some of the best grow mediums are, the best microgreens to grow, all kinds of good information on there. So definitely check that out. I'll put a card up one of these corners here. You can click that if you want to go, or you can go look in the description where there's always all kinds of good stuff in the description to check out. Also, make sure you check out microgreensmaster.com, where I have a web page that I have a microgreens calculator on there, where as far as I know, it is the only calculator available that will tell you exactly how much your seed is going to cost you per ounce of microgreens production for a whole host of different microgreens that you can grow. It's a totally free app. You can go check that out. Link in the description. If you do check out the microgreens calculator, make sure that you give me some feedback. You can post on any one of my videos that I've made and just let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it easy to use? Was it hard to use? Was it valuable to you? Or was it worthless? Just let me know. I'd really like to hear from you. That's 2 packages done. This one a little bit lighter, but it's still plenty in there. It's 2.1 ounces. So I think we'll probably get 6 ounces off this tray without any trouble at all. So it's a pretty good tray. If you like this video or any of my videos, and you'd like to help support the creation of more videos, more software, more blogs, consider becoming a Patreon. Patrons get exclusive access to certain videos that are only put up on Patreon, and sometimes I even take videos straight out of my courses and put those on Patreon. And there's also some free giveaways that I do on there for every Patreon above a certain level. Some really nice cheat sheets for growing microgreens. They're all on postcards that you can print out on Avery cards. And I'm just always adding new material there. Maybe not as quickly as I should be or as I'd like to, but it is a good spot. And if you want to help support me, I really appreciate you being a Patreon. Patron, not Patreon. If that's something you're interested in joining, link also in the description. If you're interested in taking your microgreens growing up a level, maybe even starting a business, consider checking out my courses. You can find that link also in the description. I have full-fledged, all-out, all-inclusive courses on growing microgreens as a business, to boiled down smaller courses for less money for you to check out as well. I think that's about enough self-promotion. Holy cow, I didn't even realize I had that much going on. But I can tell you that every single thing I just mentioned, it all is designed to provide a lot of value to you. Sometimes at little cost, most times at no cost at all. So if you want to check any of that out, go ahead. If you don't want to, just continue watching my videos and enjoy. Good news, we're gonna get at least 6 ounces off this tray for sure. So I've got my third container here, about half full. We're still going along. For those who are still here that didn't leave when they got tired of me constantly self-promoting, I'm gonna add in a little special video at the end of this video. Just attach it to the end. It'll be just a short video on labeling, how I make my labels, what's important to put on a label. And it's actually a video that's straight out of my business course. No need for you to go, take the course. I'm just giving this to you for free to add on to this because I wanted to provide more value in this video than I think I really have. So if you stuck around and you're gonna watch that video at the end, place a comment, give me a thumbs up, let me know you're one of the people that made it this far in the video and is gonna watch that one. You can see that I'm not washing these, I'm just cutting them and placing them in the container after I've sorted them out a little bit. And it's a fairly messy process. And that's one of the reasons that I brought up the labeling and why I'm going to show you the labeling video, is that it's important that if you're not going to wash your microgreens, you must label them as such. All my labels say right on them, wash and enjoy. And I think that most people probably don't do that, but it's still on there so people know. I feel that by not washing them, they stay fresh longer in the container. And then if you wash them before serving them, it's a whole lot easier for everybody involved, especially me. Some people might disagree with that. That's perfectly fine. You can wash yours if you want to. I'm not telling you not to. See what we got out of our final container here. Zero it out with an empty container. .3 ounces. So I have what I'm calling 6 ounces all packaged up here, but in reality it's closer to 7 ounces because there's a little bit more than 2 ounces in each container. So I would say that's great. That's a really good tray, especially for my first time growing this type of beets. But I can say that they grow just like the Detroit Dark Red. Very, very similar. I don't see many differences. I didn't have any trouble with this tray. It was very, very consistent. No damping off at all. It just did extremely well. I typically like bull's blood beets a little bit better. I feel like they grow a little bit easier as a microgreen, but in this case, I didn't have any trouble at all. So if you guys want to check these out, give them a shot. Like I said, they're very beautiful. And now, enjoy this short video on making labels. Thanks for watching, guys.